Hi everyone, Chris here. Welcome to the second instalment, in fact the final instalment on our series of cat juggling. It is list building. In the first videos we did a fair amount of work on list building. We looked at the different components, the structure in terms of getting from point A to point Z. Today we're going to be looking at a few of the mechanics, the little steps that you're going to need to take, just to ensure that you've got all the appropriate technology, if you like, in place. We're going to start with domains, and we're going to move right through to the thank you page in this process as well. It's not going to take too long, so bear with me, and we'll cut to the chase now. First off, you obviously have your website. Hope you can see that okay. On the website we're obviously looking to generate traffic. That does say traffic, my writing's appalling. But what we need to actually do is create that traffic. So how do we create it? Well, if you were watching the last video, you'll know that we need a few ads going on, maybe. We might have the web itself in terms of, doing your SEO, search engine optimization that we discussed. So we've got web there. People accidentally stumbling on your page and then going through into the traffic stream. And then we've got email. So for this example, we've got 3 possible scenarios for traffic actually converging on your website. So in they all come. Shape of traffic, land on our website. What do we do with them? As we told you before, you need a little opt-in form. Okay. Now this is a very simple form where you're collecting a first name and you're collecting an email address. So we'll label that opt-in. Okay, hopefully you can see that okay. Now there's 2 things that people can do here. In fact, I'm going to make that a bit bigger because it's quite small. So you can tell this stuff's live, you see. There you go, hopefully you can see that. So they've landed on the website and now they're moving through with our opt-in. Now on the opt-in, obviously you're saying please give us some information and we'll give you something. Remember we discussed that last time. So they can either do one of 2 things, which is say no and then they're gone. Okay, there's other things we can do with those people, but we're not going to deal with that today. So that's one scenario dealt with, and then we've got the one we hope they're going to do, which is say yes. So now they're in the opt-in form, they've said yes. What happens to them after that? Well, if you did what we were suggesting in the first video, they'll now be in here. That's your autoresponder. Now there's various different ones out there, so I don't need to give you any recommendations or anything. There's all sorts of autoresponders that you can use. I mean, we've used manual ones like vertical response for quite a while. You've probably seen the emails, AWeber, all sorts. Okay, so you can find those quite easily on the net. And then once we've done that little bit, from the autoresponder, where might they go next? Well, hopefully they're going to go to a thank you page. Sorry, I'm showing you my back. So we've got a thank you page. Now this thank you page can either be a website or it can be an email. It doesn't matter which, but that's the sequence that we're after. Okay? So come through to the thank you, and once they've done the thank you and they've seen that, you should have what's known as a confirmation. Now this one's quite important, the confirmation. Again, it can either be an email or it can be another landing page, okay? So in other words, they've got the thank you, which is, thanks for opting in and getting our stuff, okay? So here's the thank you, and then we've got one little step that we need them to take, which is to confirm the subscription that they made here, okay? This is called a double opt-in. In fact, if I do that this side. Okay, that's the reason we do this, double opt-in. we look for an opt-in here, so we know they've gone through to the autoresponder sequence. They then get the thank you, and it just says, please confirm that you actually wanted this stuff in the first place. What that does, if you remember, we were talking about quality lists, is it makes sure that they really, really do want this stuff. The other thing is that eventually the ISPs are actually going to start demanding that you have the double opt-in process. Okay, so this is like a, you know, yes, you want the stuff, and do you really want the stuff? Okay, that's what's going to be happening, and basically what we're looking at there is avoiding spam. Okay, so it's a nice, clean way of collecting information and making sure they've got the right people on your list. Okay, once they've done the confirmation, really simple. They get the email or they get the link to go to the web page that you've designed, and that's basically, here's your stuff. Okay, that's it. Nice and easy. Now hopefully what you've taken from that is the process, but if we also look at a few little bits and bobs that are required to make sure this delivery process happens, I could do a short list on the edge here, and hopefully you can see it. Okay. You've got number one, you're going to need a domain. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to require. Number two, I've got to make sure I do these in order because quite often I'll get them out of sequence. Number two is you want hosting. So you need your hosting account as well. You can use, actually you can use somebody like GoDaddy, or if you just put that into Google you'll find it, and they'll actually combine these two for you. You'll also need another little thing there to make this happen, which is your autoresponder, just here. So you need a provider for that. Fourth thing you're going to need on there is a bribe. And we discussed bribes in the last one, so dig that video out, have a quick look again, but basically that's what's going on here, isn't it? We've got the opt-in form, so they sign that and they get a bribe, which is down here. Okay, so here's your stuff. Then what we need is this, which is our opt-in page, so you need to design this. And then number 6, we've got our thank you, which is this process going on here. Now hopefully that's all made sense. If you've got any questions, as usual, you can email us, or of course you can pick up the telephone and you can ask. But as I say, the process is fairly simple. You're going through traffic, opt-in, autoresponder, thank you sequence. You've got domain, hosting account, autoresponder, bribe, opt-in and thank you down there. And if you get that right, you'll get some good traffic and you'll get some good business. Speak to you again soon.